Another day, another story. Like hiking, then come and explore the plants and animals of 7 of the world's major mountain ranges. From the towering Himalayas to the austere Atlas Mountains, mountain ecosystems are chock full of interesting organisms. Often considered biological hotspots, many of these regions feature life forms with amazing adaptations to enable survival in rugged terrain and extreme weather conditions. Learn more about montane flora and fauna with this quick tour through a variety of mountains across the globe. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Great Dividing Range. A hike along Australia's Great Dividing Range would reveal a series of plateaus and low mountain ranges roughly paralleling the coasts of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria. The mountain range extends some 2,300 miles, 3,700 km, from the Cape York Peninsula, Queensland, to the Grampians in Victoria Bass Strait between Australia and Tasmania. In Queensland, the mountain's average is 3,000 feet, 900 meters, in elevation, but they rise as high as 5,000 feet, 1,500 meters, in the Bellenden Kerr and McPherson Ranges and the Lamington Plateau. Farther south, a segment known as the Australian Alps, near the New South Wales-Victoria border, contains Australia's highest peak, Mount Kosciuszko, 710 feet, 228 meters. Since the Great Dividing Range is not very high compared to other mountain ranges, few animals specifically adapted to mountainous environments occur there. Tree kangaroos and bird-winged butterflies occur in the rainforests of the mountainous northeast, Ethiopian highlands. Although Ethiopia's complex relief defies easy classification, of the 5 topographic regions in the country, only 2, the Western Highlands and the Eastern Highlands, might be classified as mountain ecosystems. The most spectacular portion is the north-central massifs in the Western Highlands. These form the roof of Ethiopia, the highest being Mount Ras Degen at 14,872 feet, 4,533 meters. Lake Tana, see photo, Ethiopia's largest inland lake and the main reservoir for the Blue Nile River, is located in this region at an elevation of about 6,000 feet, 1,800 meters. Another region, the Western Lowlands, are not what one would call low. They stretch north-south along the border with Sudan and South Sudan and include the lower valleys of the Blue Nile, Tikazi, and Baro rivers. With elevations of about 300 feet, 1,000 meters, these lowlands are some of the hottest places on the planet. Several familiar African mammals live in Ethiopia, such as lions, leopards, elephants, giraffes, rhinoceroses, and wild buffalo. But these species rarely venture into the mountains. Andes. Travelers to the Andes wouldn't find a single line of formidable peaks, but rather a succession of parallel and transverse mountain ranges or cordilleras mixed with intervening plateaus and depressions. Found along the whole western edge of South America, they stretch from Tierra del Fuego in the south all the way to the continent's northernmost coast on the Caribbean Sea, a distance of some 5,500 miles, 8,900 kilometers. The Andes contain the highest peaks in the Western Hemisphere, along with several volcanoes that make up the eastern margin of the Pacific Ring of Fire. The highest peak is Mount Aconcagua, 22,831 feet, 6,959 meters, on the border of Argentina and Chile. All animal life is also affected by the abundance of food sources. For South American animals, the permanent snowline is the upper limit of habitation. Some plants and animals can live at any altitude, and others can live only at certain levels. Members of the cat family rarely live above 13,000 feet, 4,000 meters, whereas white-tailed mice usually do not stay lower than 13,000 feet and can live up to 17,000 feet, 5,000 meters. Himalayas. For thousands of years, the Himalayas have held a profound significance for the peoples of South Asia, as their literature, mythologies, and religions reflect. Since ancient times, the vast glaciated heights have attracted the attention of the pilgrim mountaineers of India, who coined the Sanskrit name Himalaya, from Hima, snow, and Alaya, abode, for this great mountain system. In contemporary times, the Himalayas have offered the greatest attraction and the greatest challenge to mountaineers throughout the world. The Himalayas have more than 110 peaks rising to elevations of 24,000 feet, 7,300 meters, or more above sea level, including Kanchenjunga at the border of India, Sikkim State, and Nepal, see photo. One of these peaks is Mount Everest, Tibetan Komolongma, Chinese Komolangma Phang, Nepali Sagarmatha, the world's highest, with an elevation of 29,35 feet, 8,850 meters. The fauna of the eastern Himalayas is similar to that of the southern Chinese and Southeast Asian region. Atlas Mountains. The Atlas system is a series of mountain ranges in northwestern Africa that run generally southwest to northeast across Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. They extend for more than 1,200 miles, 2,000 kilometers, from the Moroccan port of Agadir in the southwest to the Tunisian capital of Tunis in the northeast. Mount Toubkal, at 13,665 feet, 4,165 meters, is the highest point in the Atlas Mountains. Other imposing peaks in the Atlas include Mount Teiderhain at 8,058 feet, 2,456 meters, the rugged bastion of the Oasenis Massif, which reaches a height of 6,512 feet, 95 meters. The Great Kabylie, which reaches 7,572 feet, 2,308 meters, at the peak of Lala Khadija, and Mount Chalia, 7,638 feet, 2 through 28 meters. Much of the land in the Atlas has been cleared for agriculture, and a small fraction of the forest cover remains. Animal life in the mountains is also in retreat. There remain only a few jackals, a few tribes of monkeys, Barbary macaques, the only African ape found north of the Sahara, see photo, at higher elevations, and occasional herds of wild boars in the oak woods found in the northern part of the range. Alps. Some 750 miles, 1,200 kilometers long and more than 125 miles, 201 kilometers, wide at their broadest point between Garmisch, Partenkirchen, Germany, and Verona, Italy. The Alps are the most prominent physiographic region in Western Europe. Mont Blanc, at 15,771 feet, 4,807 meters, is the highest peak in the Alps. Other tall peaks in the Alps include the Dufourspitze, Weisshorn, Finsteraarhorn, and the famous Matterhorn, see photo. All are at least 14,000 feet, 300 meters high. The ibex, a wild goat, and the goat-like chamois are extremely nimble in the craggy landscape. Marmots hibernate in underground galleries. The mountain hare and the ptarmigan, a grouse, take on white coats for winter. Several national parks in the Alps protect the native fauna. Although rising numbers of people in the alpine regions has led to the disappearance of a number of species, some prized animals, including the European lynx, the brown bear, and the bearded vulture, Lammergeier, have been successfully reintroduced. Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are a massive cordillera made up of more than 100 separate mountain ranges stretching from Alberta and British Columbia to New Mexico. The spectacular vistas of the Rockies, such as St. Mary's Lake in Montana's Glacier National Park, see photo, have inspired countless mountain climbers, explorers, and even songwriters. John Denver wrote his famous anthem, Rocky Mountain High, about these uplands in 1972. Among the large mammals emblematic of the rugged backcountry are the black bear, grizzly bear, mountain lion, and wolverine. Bighorn sheep and mountain goats inhabit the high crags in summer and migrate to the lower slopes for the winter months. Members of the deer family, such as the caribou, elk, wapiti, mule deer, and white-tailed deer, also migrate between alpine meadows and subalpine forests. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.